Greetings, friends! It's Denise again with Denise's Dancing Paintbrush, and today I have another pink rose. In this one, I wanted to show you the photo reference that I started with. You can see it's two different photos that I sort of mashed together, and they don't even really match in lighting or even color. The one at the bottom is rather peachy with yellow tinges in the inside of the flower, and the other one is just a very pale pink. But when I finish, they will match more closely, and so you can see how I've turned it, tilted it, and put it together so that it works for me. I do this in Photoshop. And then I sketch it out on a piece of paper and begin. And here's I decided on a pale bluish gray background. And some parts will be darker blue than others. I'm going around my roses first with my little pieces of paper. You can see I'm just tearing them and then gluing them on with my rubber cement. But as you're using pieces torn from magazines and calendars and wherever, they're not going to all match, which is okay because light is not all the same. It's not a flat color. It's not a flat shade. It changes with proximity. So it's lighter where things are closest to the light and darker where things are getting farther from the light. So you should never create a background that is all one flat color unless you want it to look like flat color. In this, I'm even using the parts that have words printed. That doesn't make any difference in the overall image. It will eventually just fade into the background in our minds. We won't see it anymore until you get close to it. You see those eyes down there? The funny thing is, once I put those eyes into the image, you see there it is, almost dead center. It's the right shade, value of blue, and yet it fades into the background to where you can't see that it's an eye after a while. I thought it was a very clever use of a piece of art from a magazine. Just that one eye. Now I'm putting in my leaves, and they're also torn before I finally get to begin on my roses. It's like eating the first course before you get to the dessert. You don't really want to, you want to get to the point, dessert. And that's the way it is with my roses. I feel like I don't really want to do the background first, but I have to. And then, now you see I'm cutting the pieces for the rose. I want it to be more distinct, not, ruffled edges. And you could see I'm using a flower, I think that's some sort of a lily, but I'm cutting it in ways that it will work for my rose. And also because it had a little bit of yellow in it. There I put in a piece of orange, and later you won't even tell that it's orange. There's another flower I cut up to use because I needed the light to hit the flower petals right there. like part of my job is constantly searching for just the right values, just the right colors. And you see it, the little face of the man in yellow. I thought, oh, that is just the right yellow I need there at the bottom of that flower for the inside of a petal. That's gonna work for me right there. So I'm keeping the man's face. But I needed more yellow, so I'm tucking it in under his face. There we go. And it's quite the puzzle. It's a puzzle. I used to love working on puzzles as a kid. Do you work on puzzles? This is a puzzle where the pieces, none of them match and you're cutting them yourself. And why not? Isn't that how puzzles are created? Somebody had to make them. Well, sure, they're machine made now mostly, but in the beginning I think somebody had to cut them and make them. Matisse did a bunch of work like that looked like cut puzzles. And patchwork quilts, very much the same. Puzzles put together into a pattern. Sometimes I'll put a piece in, I'll hang my paper on the wall and stand back and just stare at it for a while to see if it works. And if I don't like it, I'll put something else over it. Why not? It's paper, I can just glue over it. And now it's time to work a little on the ones above. They have more light on them, so I started with the light. But I need the dark in it also, if I want to keep the light similar on all the flowers. So there we have it, our finished rose. Rose number 3, I think this is. I hope you enjoyed it. Do give me a thumbs up if you liked this, and check out some of my links below. I also have a Patreon page where people support my work. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.